Hi friends, welcome back to channel SciTech. In this one, I'm going to compare the Poco F3 GT versus the Realme X1 Max device. So which phone is the best option to buy right now during the Flipkart Big Billion Day sale? And this is a question which has been requested by a few of my subscribers asking me to make a video on this particular topic, as you can see exactly. So they're really confused, so I thought of clarifying the doubts. So which phone is really good in terms of what type of category? So if you're a kind of person who likes to have really good performance and who wants really good display or camera battery backup, in this way you'll be able to organize each and everything in detail. That's what my main point of highlighting these points. So first thing, try to understand what type of usage is yours, what are your importance. So what is your importance? So some people, they do have the preference of display, some people they do have the preference of battery, connectivity, build quality as a future proof options. These are the things you should just clarify first before actually buying the device. So first, let's get started with the first thing about the price details about the both phones. Right now, unfortunately, there is not much discount is going on the Realme X1 Max at this point, and even on the Poco F3 GT also there is not a huge discount. So right now, the 8GB RAM variant is available for about 28,999, and 8GB RAM variant from the Realme X1 Max available for 26,999. So you can use the bank discount cards, which is 5%. We don't. I think only the Flipkart Access Bank right now is available. So only the Flipkart Access Bank credit card you can actually use to get the discount. Otherwise, you cannot get the discount on the Poco F3 GT. But right now in the MI Linux device, you do have the option to get the 10% off, as you can see, using the ICICI Bank and Access Bank credit card and bank credit debit cards as well. As you can see, that's another advantage you do have in the Realme X1 Max device. This is regarding the price details. So now let's start with the first thing, main point, which is the performance. So which phone is the best in the performance? Both phones, they do have the Dimensity 1200 chipset. So there's not much huge difference you're going to see between these both phones anyway. So if you want to take a look at the benchmarks, you can definitely take a look. Obviously, the Realme X1 Max will be having the slightly higher points in the benchmarks. So don't underestimate the Poco F3 GT based upon the benchmark. That's the one thing which I did learn in the beginning of the days of using this phone. On the day one, I did do the benchmarks and I thought, what is happening with this phone, why it's performing, so this phone going to perform anything kind of low or not? But no, that's not the case. It's completely kind of opposite. So the optimization in the RAM optimization is slightly kind of better in the Poco F3 GT, and RAM opening speeds, I mean applications and games opening speeds is slightly better. And if you're a kind of person who likes to play the Battlegrounds mobile game, Realme X1 Max has got the 90 FPS, which is actually working. So before it used to not work, but which is actually working in the Realme X1 Max after the recent update, which is 8.19 update. So now you can actually play the 90 FPS. So if you are playing the Battlegrounds mobile game, if you want to buy a phone for that, so choose the Realme X1 Max device. So regarding the heating problems, there's not much heating is going on between both phones anyway, nothing much major, but the heating will be there in the Poco F3 GT while you're trying to charge the device. So only while charging, I did see a lot of heat happening in the Poco F3 GT, but normal gaming, I did not see huge difference in the heating problems. The Dimensity processor in the OnePlus Nord 2 used to get a lot of heat, not these two phones at this moment. And next thing is about the display. So display segment, which phone is really good in the display? So if you're a kind of person who likes to watch videos and a lot of entertainment kind of media kind of person, then you can select the Poco F3 GT, because the Poco F3 GT has got really good big display, as you can see, which is really great to watch the viewing contents and everything. I did like this 10-bit OLED panel which is present in this phone, 1 billion colors. That's also another advantage. And the brightness, outdoor visibility also really good, not an issue. And 480 Hz touch sampling rate, which is actually touch sampling rate. This is a default what we get out of the box. That's a higher touch sampling rate we are getting here. So these are the quite advantages in the Poco F3 GT in terms of the display segment. Display, the phone has got the slightly kind of screen bleeding issue, but if you try to restore the phone, the problem will be solved. At this moment, this is a temporary solution. So next thing is about the camera. So camera is another section where the both phones is slightly kind of close to each other. So in terms of the camera point, that's the one thing which you should definitely understand regarding the camera. So let me show you one thing. The Realme X1 Max can record the 4K 60 FPS, and both phones can do the 9K 60 of 9, I think 960 FPS slow motion recording as well. But 4K 60 FPS is possible in the Realme X1 Max. That's a one little bit advantage is there. I'm not sure how many people will be using this advantage, but overall in terms of the camera clarity and everything, both phones are slightly kind of close to each other itself in terms of the camera clarity. So I did not see any kind of huge difference between the both phones in terms of the camera, as you can see clearly. This is a front cam shot which I taken long back. You can see all the front cam shots. It's kind of true to natural colors we are getting here. Slightly kind of white, little bit, but not much. This is a little bit whitish kind of color we are getting in the Realme X1 Max. So regarding the camera, both phones are completely kind of close to each other only friends. Both phones are not great in the night mode shots, so nothing much major difference in the night mode shots. Both for are similarly performing in the night modes. So next in the outdoors, I think outdoor shots. Let me just show you a couple of shots which are taken outdoors. This is a shot which are taken outdoors. So both phones looks kind of really good. Not a problem. It's kind of very close to each other. Nothing much huge difference in terms of the camera between this both phones. So next thing regarding the battery and the charging part, the battery backup is really good in the Poco F3 GT and charging also very faster than the Realme X1 Max. This phone, this Poco F3 GT can charge within I think close to 42 minutes of time, 42 and 43 minutes of time. Yes, it's possible in this device. The phone has got the 5060 mAh of battery capacity, but still the phone was able to charge very much faster because of its 67 watts charger. And the Realme X1 Max is 4500 mAh of battery capacity, which takes kind of close to 50 minutes of time to charge the Realme X1 Max device. That's the one thing you should definitely understand before you actually buy the phone and spend this much of money on invest on this device. And next thing regarding the connectivity, the big point for the Realme X1 Max, yes, because of more 5G bands. I think 7 5G bands are getting in this device. That's also another advantage. And 4G plus also slightly kind of both phones equal. And Wi-Fi signals also slightly better in the Realme X1 Max device. So because it has got the really good high transmit link speed in the 2.4 GHz, which has got 300 Mbps speed, and this phone has got only 144 Mbps transmit link speed. But overall, in the Wi-Fi and the 5G segment, slightly better advantage for the Realme X1 Max. If you leave the Wi-Fi as well, but 5G as a future-proof option, you should know. So more bands and 2 bands on the Poco F3 GT. 2 bands in this device, I think close to 7 bands in the Realme X1 Max device. So regarding the UI and software updates, I think both phones they do offer the 2 Android updates along with Android security patch updates as well. So you should not be worried about the Android updates. But in case if you don't get the Android updates as well, in the Poco phones and the MI phones, you can actually do the bootloader unlocking and you can install the different custom ROMs. That's also option available in the Poco F3 GT. And then I forgot about the build quality. Build quality is another thing which I did like the Poco F3 GT, except not having a 3.5mm jack. The phone has got the 3.5mm jack, that could be really great, but still the build quality of this phone is really good. I did like this aluminum finish on the back side, which is completely really good friends, and RGB lighting, and you do have this kind of triggers, which is another best part. As you can see, which is fantastic in terms of the triggers. I did like the usage of triggers. So it is very much accurate. Whenever you try to play the games using the triggers, it's very much accurate and instant reaction will be there. So not an issue with the triggers at all. So only one thing is that the top button will be slightly loose and you'll hear some kind of tactile sound when you're not using them. That's the one thing which I did notice during my usage. But overall, I did like the build quality in the Poco F3 GT, but not having the 3mm jack is slightly disadvantage. But the loudspeaker quality is really good in the Poco F3 GT. Yes, which has got really great loudspeaker quality in the Poco F3 GT. That's the one thing which I can definitely say that. And next thing regarding the haptic feedbacks, both phones they do have the same kind of haptic feedback, nothing much huge difference. And we do have the IR blaster on the top ear and the 3 mics which is present in this phone. That's also another advantage in the mic setup. If you want, you can take a look. But these are the quick comparison between both phones. And overall, if you want more 5G bands, and if you want 3mm jack, and if you want less price, little bit kind of less price on the Realme X1 Max, you can definitely choose the Realme X1 Max. So even the performance also slightly kind of close in both phones, but display wise the Poco F3 GT, and battery and the charging Poco F3 GT, and the build quality Poco F3 GT for having the triggers except 3.5mm jack. And you can actually do the bootloader unlocking and you can install the custom ROMs in the Poco F3 GT. So it's up to you to decide for normal usage and medium usage. And if you're not caring about much about 5G, you can use this one, Poco F3 GT. But if you want 5G as a future proof, and if you want the 3mm jack, you can choose the Realme X1 Max. So thank you for watching this video friends, and let me know in the comment section below how you feel about this video. And in case if you are interested in this kind of more videos, make sure to hit that subscribe, and don't forget to check the playlist for more information about the other phones. Meanwhile, signing off friends, thank you for watching.